Hello everybody, welcome back. Sorry you have to listen to my voice a little bit longer, but it turns out I don't always play Mega Man. Sometimes I play Mario games, sometimes I even play Luigi games. So this is new Super Luigi U. We had a tournament for it actually I guess it was still this year. Time these days, right? This game came out for the Wii U way back when in 2013 or so, actually as DLC for New Mario Bros. U. This is out there on the Switch as part of the New Mario Bros. U Deluxe package, where you can also play as Toads and Toadette and Nabbit through the menu. But we're going to play this game here right now on the old Wii U. We broke it out. There's a slight time difference, but if you're looking forward to play this game in a tournament or something like that, they actually do manage the time differences between the consoles pretty well. It's less than a minute, so you can have a good time with that. So without further ado, we're going to count down and keep the marathon moving. So thanks everybody so much for hanging out and supporting SpeedGaming Live. And let's go in 3, 2, 1, start. So we obviously just started from the menu so that we don't have to watch a minute and 40 of the map, I should say. So we don't have to watch a minute 47-second cutscene. You play this game enough, you start to remember how long that thing really is. So we have our squirrel suit already. Squirrel suit was the new power-up given for the new Mario U games. It gives you a nice little glide, gives you this little sort of squirrel boost effect if you either lift your Wiimote or just tap one of the shoulder buttons. And that is hopefully the last power-up we get this entire run, except maybe for a star or two. So the overworld map's the same between this game and New Mario Bros. U. So if you're familiar with how it works, it's pretty simple. This is the any % category, so we are going to bop Bowser as fast as possible, which means we want warp zones, or whatever this game's equivalent of them is. Whoa, okay. This, of course, being Luigi U, we have Luigi physics here, which means we jump a little faster, a little higher. We have a little bit of that slippery. Luigi can't really stop that fast. Good luck finding that secret exit if you don't know where it is. Mechanics, but, you know, we're playing as Luigi. We're having a good time. The first two stages, there's really not much to talk about besides that. We shouldn't grab the top of the flagpole. I'm just used to it. But the way this game actually works, as well as Mario U, the map kind of looks a lot like Super Mario World here. We've got a lot of, dots on the map. We just kind of go along. But there's occasional secret exits that just skip huge swaths of the game and give us a level that's kind of representative of everything we're skipping. So since we're skipping worlds 2, 3, and 4, we are going to get a water level just for fun. And hopefully nothing terrible happens in it. So one thing about this game, this is the moment of truth where I have to remember which button do I hold to get Nabbit. I'm going to hold LZ. It doesn't really matter for this stage. We got Nabbit. Okay, good. If you're playing this on the deluxe version, you have to actually menu to Nabbit, but on the Wii U version, you just hold LZ, and we can play as Nabbit. Nabbit has this amazing property where he just doesn't take damage. Sometimes he'll get knocked back by things, but he doesn't actually take damage. You can die in a pit, you can die in lava, but, he just kind of keeps going. This is incredibly useful because it lets us go right through those fish here. In the next stage, it's going to let us go right through some piranha plants. Should note that if you're playing this game on the Switch Deluxe version, Nabbit also swims faster, so you save even more time just playing as Nabbit. If you ask me when I'm in practice, I'll say playing as Nabbit is cheating. But, it's the any % leaderboard. We have fun. I say that in jest. If you do die as Nabbit, you do lose Luigi's power-up, so don't do that. If you're playing on the Switch version, there's a whole bunch of other, weird mechanics, different characters maintain different power-up states even as you switch between them. I don't play that version a lot. I just kind of remember this from watching tournament commentary. So, come on in, join the community, join the Discords, and everyone can tell you how wrong I am about this game. But first, we have to talk about the Miiverse. As much as Nintendo likes patching their games, we still have to menu through. I don't want to talk on the Miiverse because they closed that down sometime in 2017, I think. If you actually say yes to that, your Wii U will reach out and try and contact the Miiverse for about a minute. You'll just kind of be stuck there, just reminiscing about how the Miiverse used to exist and used to be a thing, and you have to do something to pass the time while Luigi's running across the map. Just taking a drink here since still dealing with my voice being shot from this week, so I'm sorry if I sound a little hoarse. So we're in World 5. That was fast. So this is probably the #1 stage for me to want to play as Nabbit in. This is all these piranha plants. Let's make sure we make this jump. Jumping and swinging through these piranha plants with Luigi, it's not... You can do it without stopping. It's not impossible. It's very tight. You could either go for it and hope for the best. You can swing back and forth once and let the piranha plants retreat into their pipes. Or you can just play as Nabbit and go a little fast. So that's kind of what we're looking out for here. The next two stages are largely the same length. I think there's a frame difference. The one on the left does have a backup acorn if you lost yours along the way. The one on the right doesn't. But first, Toad has to come here and tell us about all of his double favorite stuff. I will say here that one of the unfortunate things about any percent, and specifically any percent as a category, is you spend an awful lot of time watching the map generate itself, listening to Toad, watching the Bowser cutscenes. It feels like it's actually a rather large portion of the run. And I do want to emphasize that when you're playing other categories of this game, if you're doing all castles or 100%, you still have to sit through this, but it becomes a significantly smaller percentage of the run. And once you get through a few stages, you actually hit a rhythm and you keep moving. But that should be most of what we've got to sit through. So again, we're Nabbit here so that we can kind of run through the legs of these giant, weird spider. I don't know. They're not really spiders because they don't have a lot of legs. I don't know what these things are. Weird bug things. Again, I kind of hinted at it earlier. You actually don't want to get the top of the flagpole in this game. Whereas in the original Mario Brothers, getting the very top of the flagpole is to your advantage. Because you kind of drop off of it backwards a little faster. In this game, the opposite is true. You want to be at the bottom of the flagpole. So this is sort of the signature trick of this game. Some of you probably saw me practicing this. Don't lose cape. I say that because it gets the timing for this a little better. We did it. So this is kind of like, if you're familiar with Super Mario World, Mortonfly, kind of a vertical level with a lot of stuff going on. I at least compare it to that. I'm not sure who else really does. But there was a block snake down there. I'm sure you saw it starting to kind of creep along the bottom of the screen. That was the right side climb. There is a left side climb that is slightly faster. That involves a rather precise wall jump and squirrel boost backwards. And let's just take out our good friend Boom Boom. Boom Boom is the same as he ever was. Just kind of wait for him to get up. That was Boom Boom.
Yes, I'm a winner.
Nice. So, yeah, there's Boom Boom. There's really one or two other stages that you basically absolutely want to have a squirrel suit for in this game, where it's sort of similar things. You want to glide over pits and skip, if not true auto-scrollers, sort of de facto auto-scrollers, where you're waiting on slow-moving platforms to make their way across a chasm. And that's where we get back to what I said in the very first stage of this game. Hopefully that is the last power-up I pick up. You don't want to see any other. You don't want to need any other ones. Don't save. Saving wastes time. We do have a ghost house here. If you're playing this on the Switch Deluxe version, you want to stick with Luigi just because menuing back and forth wastes time. Kind of again, I get to just hold L and R, so it's very nice. I am going to pick up this star very intentionally here. Missed the running jump, so we just got to get it the slow way. Oh well. getting a star does make you run faster, which we want for this jump. Yep, giant boom boom is still just boom boom. Excuse me. So again, another secret exit here. This is actually the last major sort of secret exit in the game. There are a couple left that we are going to take. They do skip levels, but this is the last one that skips a castle, going from World 5 to World 7. I guess you skip a tower in World 6. I don't know if that counts.
Let's go.
Hey, thanks everybody out there in chat. So this is a everyone's favorite auto scroll level. So we're gonna do the dumb thing and try and get a lot of coins here. Not because it actually does anything, just because I don't have anything else to do in this stage while we climb it through the sky. And we missed a coin. And just skip World 6. And the rest of World 5. Missed 2. I feel like I owe everybody something for every coin I'm missing here. You know, I say that now, and then at the end there's like a nice sequence of a lot. These parabeetles are fortunately at least a little nicer than the ones in Mario 3, where if you have a raccoon tail, you can very easily get yourself falling into a pit. Oh wow, we're gonna actually do this. We only missed those 2 coins. Now I feel terrible. We did get the flagpole at 34 though, which is good. Haven't gotten to mentioning it yet, but if you finish a level on a multiple of 11 seconds, you will get fireworks, and you'll get a nice long cutscene where Toad gives you a power-up. Not exactly what you want. I apparently missed a split somewhere in there.
Yeah. Yo.
Stay hydrated, everybody. So the meringue clouds, we're kind of getting into kind of harder levels. 7-1 here actually features a lot of ice Hammer Brothers. They shoot, you know, the ice fireballs. And the idea is that they encase these fuzzies in ice, and you can use that to kind of land on them, jump off of them. So that's what we're kind of doing here. There are ways to get through this level without stopping. They are much riskier, and when you're in practice, if you want to, you know, actually get the best possible time, TM, you definitely want to go for that. When you're in sort of the I'm going through this game relatively quickly and safely setting, then yeah, just wait a couple of seconds. Live split is weird. I'm ignoring that gold split. I'm gonna play this stage as Nabbit. 7 Tower, the fortress sort of level, is another level where you definitely want your squirrel suit. Nabbit, what are you doing to me? Nabbit, as well as Luigi, actually have this little weird bit of physics where if you push the jump button in a jump, it actually does slow your descent a little bit. Sometimes that can throw you off when you want to cut off your jump and then suddenly bounce off an enemy. But oh well. So 7 Tower, you can see Magic Koopa is up there instead of Boom Boom. Boom Boom's done. He leaves everything behind in World 6. But Magic Koopa likes to fly around a lot. So when you do the math on that, enemies that fly around, plus we have a sort of squirrel suit that lets us jump up and down. We really want to keep this. So let's see. Stomping on Fire Bros is certainly fun to do. Like, don't get me wrong. It's very satisfying to take out a Hammer Brother in any Mario game. But we have this problem here, where the Fire Bros fireballs when they're kind of making that big throw and they're setting up to throw over their head, that overhand motion. If you touch that fireball while it's in their hands, which happens to be directly over their head that you want to stomp, you will take damage from it. And that's bad. We don't want to lose Squirrel Suit. So it's better to just avoid them. Wait out the auto-scroller, stay out of their way. So here's Kamek, here's Magic Koopa. Going to create a bunch of blocks and kind of teleport around and be really annoying. But every time you stomp on them, there's... Okay, that's good, that's good. The third... After you get the second stomp, you will always spawn there. It's after the first stomp. His appearance is RNG. It's completely random. So you kind of have to float around and hope for the best. And we got some good good luck there. He will just float across the screen and find him. Meanwhile, Bowser's doing some redecoration still at Peach's castle. We didn't watch the intro where they foil us by having a... I forget if this is the game with a giant cake or if this is the game where the giant fist from the airship just literally flicks us across the world map. And Bowser just keeps finding more and more ways to get the Mario Brothers away from the princess. But enough about that. This castle is relatively simple. This isn't a castle, this is a ghost house. In fact, if we do this right, we should get to the flagpole at 88 seconds. Normally, we would just, wait a second, go to 87, and then get the flagpole, but let's see those fireworks, just to prove that I'm right. I think it's like 18 seconds or something to do this. Normally, and if you're in like sort of a race setting, or you really want the safety, you'd look for 77. The item you get is kind of dependent on the timer and which multiple of 11 you get, so 7 is the good one. It's very easy to get that in a couple of stages in World 1. Here, you just need to wait out for 87 on the clock, and you can avoid that whole sequence. But it's also really easy to get that and say, hey, look at this, everybody watching the marathon. Kind of a Mario 3 style of items where you have one menu, and when it fills up, it fills up. Excuse me. So this is the one sort of castle level we're really going to do outside of, Bowser. Ludwig's castle has this sort of moving back and forth box gimmick going on. The first one's easy. That little ground pound was an accident, and I'm sorry that we lost time there. There is a fast strat going kind of off the bottom of the screen on the right. You want to kind of hang off the bottom of the screen here with that little dry beetle. Go under the block. It's terrifying. People better than me know exactly what they're doing with it. But it's only a couple of seconds to kind of go up the top route. Ludwig himself, not a very difficult fight. It's a little annoying because he kind of creates 3 clones. 2 of them drop down. You have to stomp on the 3rd one. I think it'd be a little annoying. Or you can have a squirrel suit. Remember when I said that squirrel suit is the most beautiful thing in this game and just never lose it? And then we remember that he's a Mario game boss, so every time he stands up, we can stop him. I'm sorry, he's a Luigi game boss. Luigi game boss. Mario is in another castle.
Yes, I'm a winner.
Shoutouts to Luigi. So the next stage we're going into actually is another one of these sort of auto-scrollers. That's not really an auto-scroller. Because we have the squirrel suit, we can kind of jump across the chasm while our platform plays catch-up. It's either we're going to make this or we're not, though. Should be knows, we also... There's another one of these airship levels kind of right after either World 3 or 4, because there's a fork in the road. But we skipped that too, going all the way from World 1 to World 5. You skip so much. So let's see if we do this right. We did not do it right. So if you do it right, you bounce off the top of a lot of these parachute enemies in a row. You make it all the way across, and you look cool. Oh, or you do what I did, and you don't do that. And we've got to get another power up here. Just go through the rest of this safe, make sure we don't get sniped. Know your backups. Luigi for life, indeed. There is actually a picture or some sort of image of Luigi, quote-unquote, hidden in every stage. If you want to go and look for it, it's kind of a fun little thing. There's also an acorn on the right in those crates if you stomp through them, which can be very useful because Bowser Jr. here, again, is another flying boss. Bowser Jr., even worse, has a very funky hitbox. It's very easy to not hit Bowser Jr. and even land on the side of the clown car. It's also very easy to get hit by Bowser Jr. throwing bombs as you're stomping him. Basically, Bowser Jr. is a terrible boss, and hopefully we never see him again. The one thing I didn't do here was land on the left side. It's one of those little things where you fall slightly faster since the left side of the platform falls out first. And Bowser Jr. here also demonstrating never aim your airship's giant mechanical fist at the airship itself. Luigi might dodge. It just doesn't end well. Don't do it. He didn't get very far. So with that, we get to return to Scenic, Peach's castle. And kind of, you know, we talk about this in a lot of the retro Mario games on the NES and the Super Nintendo. Bowser has a great interior designer. We talk about this a lot, like the flooded fortress, the fortress with the lava on the ceiling. It's kind of like, how does Bowser manage all this? And you can see we've only been playing this game for about 22 minutes. Yet Bowser has somehow turned, you know, that beautiful scenic landscape from Mario 64 into basically his castle with a lava moat and everything. So maybe decoration was Bowser's real calling the whole time, but we're going to get in here, we're going to save the princess. For my purposes, this is going to be another Nabbit level. This is, again, where you're playing on the Switch. You generally don't want to switch between Nabbit and Luigi very often. We're playing as Nabbit here because these fireballs falling from the sky, there's just enough randomness to them that we don't want to lose the squirrel suit. So we're just going to play as Nabbit and not care about the fireballs. There is a little bit of a method to the madness, and there is certainly a Luigi-only category on the leaderboard where if you want to play this game and not have the Nabbit advantage, you're welcome to do so. But the default any % category certainly makes use of Nabbit. Now, just another weird divergence here. You'd be surprised how little I've actually played New Mario U, but I'm told you actually go up the gut here, go 8-2, 8-3 up the middle, whereas in Luigi U, you come all the way over here to 8-4. This is another vertical stage in the end. So again, you want to just play as Luigi here. Last time I did this in a marathon, it was bad news when I got here, so we're just going to get the star and do this the easy way. You can do this without the star. Obviously, then you save the like 2 seconds it took to grab that star. But this way, we're gonna keep that squirrel suit.
Made it.
Excuse me.
Cha.
So after 8-4, we get to. I guess this is 8 Castle. This is not actually the final level. This is a level with a kind of one of these tilt control platforms. If you're not using the Wiimote, you can just hold RZ, sort of the right trigger button on your Wii U controller, to make it move to the right. It's kind of annoying to go back and forth, and especially with the squirrel suit, I'm just jumping over everything anyway. So I just basically hold RZ the whole time. This is not the fastest way through this stage. You can kind of thread the needle, jumping through the bombs, through the lightning, and not have to use a squirrel boost at all. I want no part of that in a marathon setting, so we're just going.
Made it.
Running and charging ahead with the squirrel suit on its own is still just amazingly faster than playing the game in a lot of situations. It's all about how much risk do you want to take, and just fly through these levels faster. Get technically 2 more applications of the squirrel suit. But of course, this is our approach to Bowser. We get to fly over this lava with Bowser Jr. kind of chasing after us. If you do it right, you can actually have Bowser Jr. sort of decide to push you along a little bit. We saw that very briefly there. Easy. If you're going through that and Bowser Jr. is chasing you, you have no flight capabilities, that becomes a little bit of a nightmare. It becomes one of those situations where you can kind of have a highlight reel of saves and moments where you really should have fallen in the lava and you didn't. Whoop, okay, through that. The traditional approach to Bowser here. There's Bowser, he's big and scary. And that was Bowser. Oh, we did it. We saved the princess, everybody. There's certainly not a reason I haven't hit the final split yet. If anything, I'm actually disappointed that I don't think you can get a jump off of that switch. You can't jump off the switch like you can in so many other Mario games. Pay no attention to them trying to revive Bowser. Surely everything's okay. That seems normal. That must be part of restoring the castle back to normal. Just need to run up here, say hi to the princess, and everything should be just fine. How many people still believe me?
Luigi!
Oh no! I think if you come here with Nabbit, she says hi. So one more thing we want to do with the squirrel suit here. When we jump over the first fireball, if we immediately sort of cape bump into Bowser's face, it skips Bowser shooting a second fireball. It saves a very small amount of time, but we like saving small amounts of time. So what we want to do here is get in this. Run away from Bowser, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And now Bowser lands again, and, you know, we're supposed to not be in the clown car at this point. But because we're good at video games, we managed to stay in it the whole time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. So that saves a whole bunch of time waiting for a fireball sequence here and Bowser Jr. to come back and attack us again, and that really is time. Considering we had to stand around a lot in the airship level, I'll take a 28. I want to say your record for this game is a very low 26. It's been a little while since I checked, so I wouldn't be shocked if you were seeing high 25s by now. But this is a fun game. I'd highly recommend this, especially if you like your more retro Mario 2D platformers. The nice thing about Luigi U, the levels are actually still pretty short, whereas in a lot of the other new Mario Brothers games by the titles, the levels kind of start getting longer. There's a lot more stuff. That said, maybe you like longer levels. Play those games too. It's still a Mario game. Have fun with Mario games, everybody. Come on, this is great.
Thank you.
Just want to see more people playing these games. With that, I think I get to let my voice rest for the rest of the night. Thanks everybody for the GGs. Thanks again for SpeedGaming, both for this and really for all the Mega Man games I've been part of on this stream, for having us, for letting us show off these things we love to do. I'm sure everybody's heard me say this a few times by now, but we love the SpeedGaming channels. We love having a great kind of community resource like this, so please help support SpeedGaming. It's a whole lot of fun. I'm looking over here because this is where my copy of the marathon schedule is. And I'm going to admit I have no idea how to pronounce the name of the game that's coming up next. I think it's Inglet with Warm Ham. I'm going to learn a lot about Inglet with Warm Ham in the next half hour. So please stick around. Enjoy your favorite speed games. Watch the tournaments. And keep having fun. I'm going to say goodbye, and we'll see you next time. There's the sort of end credits minigame here, but nothing new but stack the toads on top of each other. Much like a lot of the other new Mario Brothers games, if you have 4 players, your other friends get to start playing as the toads and eventually nab it. So everybody is here.